Hello, welcome back to Only Pistols. Today we're having a look at an original Model 6. This is a 177 single shot spring powered target pistol. Production dates 1960 through to 1978. This one produced in 1960. Let's start by looking at the markings on it. So on this side, got the serial number, nothing else showing. On the top, original. Just under the rear sight there, Model 6. And then on the back there, Deutsche Patent, but Deutsche Bundespatent and Ostpatent, so German and Austrian patents. And that's it for the markings on this side. There is another marking on this, which is actually just covered by the plastic grip here, and that is made in Germany, but you can only see that once you've taken the grip off. Rear sight there's a mounted plate which is tack welded onto the top of this piston, and that's got serrated teeth there, which the rear sight, which is a metal spring leaf, grips onto, and that's then just held down by that single screw. It's adjustable for elevation by that thumb screw there, which is marked, and for windage, which is this knob on the end here, and again that is marked, so you've got a reference point for it. The rear sight blade is replaceable, and the original ones did come with a variety of grip sized plates, so different notch sizes. Nicely relieved there just to make it a bit more usable, a bit finer. Foresight is in a tunnel, and it's just a simple metal stamped part of the foresight tunnel that's stamped up. Came in a number, I'm trying to get it to focus on it. Came in a number of profiles, so this one's square. They also came in kind of V-pointed. The top of the cover has a rubber cover over it, and that's there as a cocking aid. It's not there as a sighting tunnel or anything. Was banned later by ISF, so they had to come up with a different method. But for now, you didn't need an extension piece on the end of the barrel to cock it, but you did get something to protect your hand from the sight, or protect the sight from your hand, I think is probably more likely. Trigger is a very nice two-stage unit, and you can adjust where the two-stage action comes into place, or you could actually adjust it completely out so you had just a single stage. Not really adjustable for weight in any way, but it was fixed at the factory. And then you've got the grip. So plastic, nicely marked, or nicely stippled, quite a nice profile to it. No palm shelf, but there is a very decent thumb rest, and that gives her quite a good grip. But you're not adjusting this grip in any way. It's one size fits all, or it doesn't fit you. For me, I'm lucky it fits quite nicely. These grips, this move to plastic from 1960s was pretty innovative. So the other thing that you'll notice about this pistol is these covers on either side. And this is part of the other bit of innovation about the Model 6, and that is that it's a completely recoilless pistol. And it achieves that by having two pistons moving past a cog. So you've got a cog on either side and a gear on top and a gear underneath. And basically, as you cock the pistol, you're pulling back a weighted piston from this end, and this end, the piston with the piston seal on the end of it. And when you fire it, they both move in the same time. They both go forwards and backwards. And that way you get a complete equalization of the recoil force. Interesting thing to note on this is because it's an early Model 6, it doesn't have any of the later screws that you would have to hold these caps in place. What it has is little rubber buffers that are set into the top of the cutouts in the grip. There's one on either side, and those are what do the job of just stopping those unwinding, because otherwise they will quite freely unwind by just with finger force. Cocking it, loading it, same as the earlier Model 5, and basically you have to look pretty careful not to realise it's a Model 6, but you just quite simply break it open, pull it back, excuse the scrunch, I've had to replace the seals on this, and you drop the pellet into the breech. You've got a ball detent, which was again something new, so there's a sprung ball there and a little knot, a little peg on the face of the breech, and that made for a very good lock-up. The other thing you've got with these, in common with the Model 5, is that you can cock it, but the trigger is now locked, and that's affected by the bar that cocks the pistol. As that travels back, it actually goes between the trigger and the sear, so that actually locks the trigger up. It means you can't relieve the pressure on it either, you have to fire it. So close the barrel up, and we'll get quite close on this. I'll show it back a bit further in a minute, but I want you to just see this because this is the thing about these. So if you watch my finger, take up the pressure on the first stage, and it is completely recoilless. It's quite weird to fire it actually, because you know there's a lot going on in there. You know, if you've taken it apart, you know what's in there, but there is absolutely no recoil to this when you fire it. So there you go, the original Model 6. Other stuff about it, well, it's one of the pistols which is really affected by the breech lockup. So it's got a rubber O-ring, and you've got metal shims to fit underneath that. And replacing the metal shims or having a badly worn O-ring or just changing the O-ring can really adjust the point of impact. So if you do have to change the breech seal, it definitely pays to make sure that you've spent some time afterwards getting the pistol settled down before you try and use it again in a competition. So you've got a completely recoilless pistol. Something that Diana, our original, really wanted you to know about: the world's first spring-powered without recoil or rebound, and they repeated that everywhere they could. So they definitely wanted you to know about that. The frame, this grip, this plastic grip, was also referred to as the match grip. So they did also produce these with a wooden grip, and that was slightly lighter. So this, with the match grip, this plastic grip, comes in at £3. So that's one of the other things that helps with recoil maintenance, is actually it's quite a chunk of pistol. So the main part of it is made out of blued steel, and then you've just got this plastic grip and plastic trigger guard. The rest of it is pretty much steel all the way through. So it's quite a chunk of pistol. Accuracy wise, yeah, it is. This pistol is now 65 years old. I've replaced the piston washers in it, so the seals front and back, but 65 years on, and it still works absolutely fine. For its time, I'm sure this was a great leap forward. And what's in a name? Well, this one's an original. The manufacturer were a company called Diana, and basically after the post-war, Diana had sold the brand Diana in the UK to Milbro, a British company. So they couldn't sell anything into the UK marked as Diana. That was Milbro's territory. So they came up with putting the name Original on the top, but it is basically a Diana. And because it was coming into the UK market, it didn't need the F in a pentagram, which is the sign for a German low pressure pistol. So it just had to comply with the UK regulations. So that was one change. Also, you'll find these marked up as many different names. So they made the same pistol for Beeman, for Gecko, for Winchester, and for High Score. And the difference where you would see it was up here, where this is marked. So this is etched in and then gold filled. So that would be where you would find the difference between them. But they were all the Model 6, same in every other way. And the process, this innovative dual piston system, was known as GISS, which is gas inertia shifting system. I think GISS is probably the way we'll go with this one. So there you go. This is a really lovely pistol. It is very early. So there's an example of this pistol with a wooden grip on, which is literally one number after this. So, but that's marked up as Diana. So this is right on the cusp of when they started making these pistols, and they did start making them both in wood grip and plastic grip at the same time. And there was, as I said, there was quite a lot of different names on them. So as far as we can tell, the serial numbers are sequential, whatever the name on the top is. So an early example, and still works absolutely fine. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, then please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon to let you know when I put some more posting up. And otherwise, I'll see you again soon with another pistol. Thanks very much. Bye.